You flip the switch, nothing. The power's out, your phone's dying, and a checkpoint just popped up at the end of your street. This isn't a movie. It's what happens when the system breaks. Buckle up. Lockdowns, checkpoints, and blackouts are just around the corner, and when they hit, it won't be slow or polite. It'll be chaos. No power, no news, no help. So the real question is, are you ready for the first 72 hours of total collapse? Let's break down exactly how to prepare, step by step. Number 1, harden your home before the lights go out. When the power goes down, crime goes up. It's a simple truth that plays out in every blackout. And if you think you can rely on the police or local authorities during a cascading grid failure, think again. They're just as overwhelmed and in the dark as you. Your home is your first line of defense, but only if you've hardened it before the lights go out. Start with your doors. Most residential doors are barely more secure than cardboard. Replace your strike plates with heavy-duty versions and swap out the standard screws with 3-inch hardened steel ones that bite into the wall studs. That alone could double or triple the time it takes to breach your entry. Install a grade 1 deadbolt, not the bargain bin kind. Add a door reinforcement bar or security jammer at the base. These tools are simple, inexpensive, and can be the difference between a home invasion and a failed attempt. Next, your windows. They're your most vulnerable weak points. Apply shatter-resistant security film. Add window locks and block sliding windows with wooden dowels. In a blackout, when alarms are down and phone calls are delayed, you need every layer of defense you can build. And don't forget the garage. Most people do. If the power is out, automatic openers become liabilities. Disengage them and lock the track manually with a clamp or padlock. Reinforce the interior door leading into your home as if it were your front door, because if someone gets into your garage, that door is their last barrier. Also essential, blackout curtains. In a sea of darkness, even a candle becomes a signal flare. Blackout curtains keep your light from spilling out, keeping you hidden while maintaining full visibility of your surroundings from the inside. Finally, consider motion-sensing solar lights for your exterior. Even in a power outage, they charge by day and illuminate by night, startling anyone who gets too close. In a blackout, your house will either look like a target or a fortress. If you want to buckle up for what's coming, make sure it's the latter. Number 2, stockpile the right emergency food. When store shelves empty and checkpoints block access to basic supplies, your food stash becomes your lifeline. But if all you've got is a stack of dry ramen and a case of canned corn, you're in for a miserable blackout. Emergency food isn't just about stuffing calories into storage bins. It's about strategic nutrition, morale, and practicality. Start with long shelf life staples. Rice, beans, lentils, and oats are the holy grail. They last for years, are nutrient-dense, and can be combined into endless combinations. Pair them with salt, oil, and basic spices, and you can stretch your supplies while keeping meals from becoming punishment. Next, portable food. In a lockdown, or if you're forced to evacuate, you need grab-and-go nutrition. Think protein bars, trail mix, jerky, and freeze-dried meals that just need water. Look for options that don't spike blood sugar or require constant refrigeration. Add morale foods. This is where most preppers miss the mark. Chocolate, instant coffee, tea bags, peanut butter, hot sauce, or even bouillon cubes. When stress peaks, comfort items can calm nerves and keep your mental edge intact. Don't forget vitamins. Even the best stock pantry can fall short on key nutrients. A bottle of multivitamins can fill the gaps and help prevent fatigue, depression, or sickness in prolonged crisis. What about food prep? You won't always have a stove. That's why you need low fuel or no cook options. Canned soups, stews, and ready-to-eat meals should take priority. If you can boil water, you can make almost anything, but don't assume you'll have that luxury. Finally, rotation. Every 6 months, inspect your supplies. Swap out expired goods, restock what you use. That way, your emergency stash doubles as part of your everyday pantry. Securing food isn't just about surviving hunger. It's about maintaining energy, strength, and decision-making under pressure. Because when the power's out, stores are locked, and checkpoints are up, you'll be glad you didn't wait. Number 3, store and secure water. Now you can survive 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. And during a prolonged blackout, access to safe drinking water will disappear faster than almost anything else. Municipal water systems rely on electricity to pump, treat, and deliver water to your tap. Once the power goes down, pressure drops and contamination risks skyrocket. That sink you took for granted, it's about to run dry or worse, poison you. So you need to start storing water now. Not tomorrow, not later, now. The rule of thumb is 1 gallon of water per person per day. That covers drinking, minimal cooking, and basic hygiene. Multiply that by 30 days for a family of 4, and you're looking at 120 gallons, and that's just the floor, not the ceiling. Use 5-gallon stackable containers, 55-gallon drums, or water bricks. Label everything. Add water treatment drops or bleach to stored water if it's not pre-filtered. Rotate it every 6 to 12 months and store it in a cool, dark area away from chemicals. But even a solid stockpile can run out. That's where filtration systems come in. Gravity-fed filters like Berkey, Alexapure, or Sawyer Point 1 let you turn questionable sources like ponds, streams, rainwater into clean, drinkable water. Add backup life straws, iodine tablets, and even boiling options if you've got the fuel. Know where to find water when the taps go dry. Gutters can fill rain barrels. Hot water heaters store 30-50 gallons. Local streams or park fountains may be lifelines. Scout these now. Don't wait until you're dehydrated to go hunting, because when the next blackout hits, water isn't just survival, it's leverage. If you've got it, you live. If you don't, you beg. And begging during martial law? That's a position you never want to be in. Number 4, prep for power outages like they'll last weeks. Most people prep for an evening without power. You're prepping for weeks or maybe longer, because in a coordinated attack, EMP, or grid failure, that's what it'll take to get anything running again if it ever does. So you need to build your own off-grid power solutions right now. Start with solar generators. You don't need a whole home system. Portable units like Bluetti, EcoFlow, or Jackery are enough to run phones, fans, LED lights, even small fridges or medical gear. Pair them with foldable solar panels that you can rotate for max sun exposure. Then come your battery banks. Get multiple high-capacity USB power packs. Store them charged. Label their capacity and usage. Recharge them via solar or a car inverter if needed. Always rotate, always test. Now prioritize what you power. Phones for communication, radios for info, medical devices for survival, lights for safety, fans for heat regulation. This isn't about running your TV or microwave, it's about essentials only. Use low-wattage devices, LED bulbs, DC fans, USB-powered gadgets. Get multi-use gear like lanterns with built-in radios or flashlights that crank and charge. And don't just store it. Practice with it. Know how to set up your panels. Test how long each charge lasts. Time how long it takes to get a full charge. Because when the grid goes down, there's no room for trial and error. Power is control. Power is independence. In the new blackout era, even a trickle of electricity gives you a strategic edge. So stock it, store it, stretch it, and prep. Like the next outage isn't temporary because it probably won't be. Number 5, set up off-grid cooking and heating. If you've never tried cooking a full meal with no electricity, no gas, and no microwave, welcome to blackout reality. When the grid goes down for more than a few hours, cooking becomes survival science. And in winter, heating becomes just as urgent. But here's the catch. Using the wrong equipment or setup can be just as dangerous as not having anything at all. That's why prepping off-grid cooking and heating options before the next blackout is non-negotiable. Start with your fuel sources. Propane is king in blackout scenarios. It's efficient, widely available, and powers everything from small stoves to buddy heaters and lanterns. Keep a few 1 lb propane canisters for portability and at least 2 20 lb tanks for extended use. Store them outdoors, away from ignition sources, and rotate them every few years. Now let's talk stoves. A small propane camp stove will cover your basics: boiling water, heating soup, cooking rice. But what if you run out of propane? That's where fuel diversity comes in. Add an alcohol stove like a Trangia or Solo to your kit. These burn denatured alcohol or heat and are lightweight, reliable, and compact. For outdoor use, consider a rocket stove, which is an efficient wood-burning cooker that uses twigs and scrap wood. It's perfect for heating food or boiling water with minimal smoke. You can even build one yourself from a few metal cans or bricks if you're resourceful. But remember, with fire comes risk. In a blackout, fire departments are slower to respond or may not come at all, so fire safety becomes your responsibility. Never cook inside without proper ventilation. Don't use propane or alcohol stoves indoors unless they're specifically rated for it. Always keep a fire extinguisher nearby and know how to use it. For heating, consider a Mr. Heater Buddy. It's propane-powered and safe for indoor use if you follow basic precautions like cracking a window and using a carbon monoxide detector. Layer clothing, use Mylar blankets, and isolate one room as your warm zone with blankets over doors and windows. And don't overlook morale. A hot cup of coffee, a warm meal, or just being able to heat up soup can drastically boost your mental state in a long-term blackout. Bottom line, don't bet your family's comfort or survival on takeout coming back online. You need multiple ways to cook and at least one safe heat source before the lights go out. The grid won't wait, and your body can't afford cold, hunger, or a fire you can't put out. Number 6, get comms that don't rely on cell towers. Let's get brutally honest. Your cell phone is useless in a real crisis. When the grid goes down and towers lose backup power, or worse, when authorities intentionally shut down networks to maintain order, you'll find yourself holding a very expensive paperweight. So how do you stay informed? How do you communicate with loved ones, neighbors, or emergency responders? You prep off-grid communications now, not later. Start with the basics. A hand crank emergency radio. These are low cost, no battery needed, and let you tune into no AA weather alerts, AM, FM stations, and even shortwave frequencies if things get really bad. Some models even have USB ports to charge a phone. Brands like Kaido or Midland are reliable and widely available. Next, walkie-talkies. Cheap FRRS GMRS two-way radios can help you keep in touch with family across your property or neighborhood. Look for models with decent range and rechargeable battery options. Don't forget to test them ahead of time and agree on channels with trusted contacts. For the more advanced prepper, ham radios. These require a license to transmit, not to listen, but they allow long-range communication across towns, states, even countries under the right conditions. A basic Baofeng radio costs less than $30 and can connect you to local ham nets, disaster updates, and emergency traffic. But hardware isn't enough. You need a communications plan. Print out a contact list with addresses, phone numbers, radio frequencies, and emergency protocols. Keep physical maps, instruction manuals, and quick reference cards for every device. Don't assume you'll remember anything under stress. Set up signal codes with your neighbors like flashes of light, colored flags, chalk marks, or specific whistle patterns. That way, even without words, you can communicate safety, danger, or requests for help. You don't need to get fancy, just functional. Also consider mesh networking apps like BridgeFi or Briar. These use Bluetooth to send messages locally without needing towers or Wi-Fi. Great for dense urban areas during digital blackouts, but test them in advance. And here's a bonus most people miss. Listen more than you talk. In an emergency, you gain more from gathering information than sharing it. Know when to speak and when to stay silent. Because in a total communications blackout, the people with radios become the eyes and ears of the community. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and out of danger, then comms prep isn't optional. It's survival. Number 7, lock down financial independence. When the blackout hits, your debit card becomes a coaster, your banking app crashes, and that chip reader at the gas station, completely useless. Within hours, the digital finance system we all rely on goes silent. And suddenly, people realize just how fragile convenience really is. If you want to stay ahead of that wave, you need to lock down financial independence now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. Start with the one thing that still talks when the power's off. Cash. But not $100 bills. In a crisis, nobody can make change for Benjamins. What you need are small bills like 1s, 5s, and 10s. Enough to cover food, fuel, medicine, or even barter for something that might save your skin. Keep them distributed too. A few in your wallet, some in your go bag, tucked away in the car, hidden in the house. Because if you put it all in one place and that place burns down or gets looted, it's game over. But here's the bigger picture. In a prolonged blackout, cash is just the beginning. What really matters is what people can use. That's when barter kicks in. And those who planned ahead won't just survive, they'll thrive. Think about the stress points of a collapsing system. People won't care about designer brands or luxury items. They'll want batteries for flashlights, meds for their kids, lighters to cook, cigarettes to calm their nerves. And yes, even a bottle of whiskey becomes valuable, not for partying, but for pain relief, trade leverage, or morale. This is where prepping turns into power. When neighbors are panicking and stores are shuttered, you'll be the one with the supplies that people suddenly can't live without. And if you've prepped right, You'll have enough to share, trade, and hold your ground. But don't stop there. Think bigger. What happens when the blackout isn't just physical, but financial? No digital banking, no way to check balances, no paycheck direct deposit, no access to savings. If that lasts more than a week, the panic won't just be in grocery aisles, it'll be in the markets. So now is the time to pay off high-interest debt. Reduce your liabilities. Learn how to live lean. Know what to do when the system forgets you exist. Because financial collapse doesn't always start with Wall Street, it can start with a thunderstorm, a cyber attack, or a single overloaded grid. And when it does, there are two types of people: those holding a dead credit card and those holding the means to survive. You know which one you want to be, so lock it down now before the power goes out for real. Number 8, load tactical tools in every room. Let's be brutally honest. When a blackout turns into a breakdown, you won't have time to go get your gear. If someone kicks in your door at 2 a.m. while the power's out, you'll have seconds to react. Not minutes. Not time to unlock the safe, dig through a drawer, or fumble in the dark. Seconds. That's why serious preppers don't just own tactical tools. They stage them. Every room, every corner, every fallback spot. Start with what you're legally allowed to carry and use. If you're trained and licensed to handle lethal force, your home defense weapon needs to be both secure and accessible. Biometric safes, quick-access gun vaults, and pressure-tested drills are non-negotiables. You don't just need the tool, you need to be able to reach it in the dark, under adrenaline, while someone is coming up the stairs. That's the level of readiness we're talking about here. But let's not pretend everyone owns a firearm or wants to. That's why non-lethal tools are critical too. Pepper spray doesn't require a background check. It doesn't have to be reloaded. And when sprayed in a blackout in tight quarters, it can stop an intruder in their tracks and buy you the time to escape or secure your position. Tactical flashlights are another underrated powerhouse. A high-lumen strobe light doesn't just blind an attacker, it disorients them. Paired with a solid metal body, it doubles as a striking tool, and you don't need training to swing one. Here's the golden rule. Every room should have something. That could be a flashlight near your bed, a tactical pen on your desk, a multi-tool in the kitchen drawer, a baseball bat behind the closet door. Whatever fits your comfort level and training, place it, know it, and rehearse how to use it under stress. Staging doesn't mean leaving tools in the open. Hide them in plain sight. Store them high if you've got kids. Use furniture with built-in compartments or get creative. No one needs to know what you're ready for but you. And if you have a family, train them, walk them through how to access tools, run silent drills, build muscle memory, because the worst feeling in a blackout scenario isn't fear, it's helplessness. And tools only help if the people inside your home know how to use them. Outside your home, think about your vehicle too. A tactical flashlight, a seatbelt cutter, and a multi-tool should live in your glove box. Your car might become your fallback shelter or your fastest exit route, and it needs to be just as ready as your front door. This isn't paranoia, it's practicality. In a long-term blackout, the rule of law weakens fast, and when the lights go out, predators move in. But if they enter a home that's prepared, trained, and armed, they won't stay long. So don't wait until it's too late. Arm your home, room by room. Because when the system breaks down, the only line of defense is you. Number 9, build a local security network. Here's the cold reality. You won't survive a long blackout alone. You might last a few days, sure, but when the grid stays down, the systems break, and the trucks stop running, community becomes your lifeline. Most people think prepping is all about me versus the world. But the truth is, your greatest asset during a blackout isn't just your gear, it's your neighbors. And the sooner you build trust and coordination, the better your odds of holding the line when things spiral. Start small. You don't need to announce you're a prepper. You just need to get to know the people on your street. Who has medical training? Who has tools? Who's already quietly prepping but keeping it low-key? Begin by offering help. Talk about local security, the recent outages, how vulnerable the neighborhood feels. Let the conversation build naturally. Next, link up with a few trusted households. Keep it tight. You don't need 40 people, just a few solid, like-minded allies who understand the stakes. Set up a check-in system. That can be as simple as flashing a light from a window at a set time or using a prearranged whistle pattern to signal danger or call for assistance. Flags, flashlight blinks, walkie-talkie channels, whatever you choose, keep it consistent and practice it. Because when comms go down, Visual and audio signals become your only communication. A sign rolls, even loosely. One house watches the street, another guards the alley. Someone monitors radio signals. Someone else handles med kits and first aid. You're not building a militia, you're building resilience. And here's why it matters. When word spreads that your block is organized, aware, and alert, you stop looking like a target. Looters don't want resistance. They want chaos. But a neighborhood where people are watching each other's backs, coordinating at night, and ready to defend, that becomes a no-go zone. You also create a resource safety net. Maybe one house runs out of propane, but another has extra. Maybe someone's got a spare charger or water filter. Instead of hoarding and hiding, you create leverage and stability. But here's the catch. You can't wait until the blackout to build this. Trust takes time. Systems take trial runs. And when the lights are out, paranoia skyrockets. That's why you need to lay the groundwork now while things are still calm, so that when it all hits the fan, your network is already solid. Because in a long blackout, it won't be your gear that saves you. It'll be the people watching your six. Number 10, run full blackout drills with your household. You've stocked the food, stored the water, tested the solar lights, and staged the tools. Great, but if you've never gone dark for real, you're not ready. Period. A full blackout drill isn't optional. It's the only way to know if your plan works when it counts. And it's not just about gear, it's about habits, reactions, and gaps that only show up when the lights are truly off. Pick a weekend. Kill the main breaker. No cheating. No phones unless they're on airplane mode. No running out to the store. Just 24 to 48 hours of total grid-down simulation. Within the first hour, you'll start learning. Can you move through your house without bumping into furniture? Can your kids find the flashlight? Does your backup lantern actually light the whole room or just a tiny corner? Simulate a night breach. Try getting from your bedroom to the front door silently. Time how long it takes to get everyone to the safe room. Run communication drills like silent signals, verbal cues, hand radios. See who remembers what and who freezes. Check your cooking system. How long does it take to boil water with your backup stove? How many meals can you really prepare before fuel starts to run low? Does your ventilation system keep the smoke out, or does the whole house reek? Power up your solar gear. Charge a device. Run a fan. Monitor how long it lasts. See how long it takes to recharge. Track every watt like it matters, because in a real blackout, it will. And here's the most important part. Don't wait until something fails. Expect it to fail. That's the point. You want the broken latches, the dead batteries, the unreachable flashlight, because right now, you can fix them. During the real thing, you won't get that chance. When the drill's over, debrief with your family. What worked? What didn't? Who froze? Who thrived? What needs to be improved? Build a checklist from your experience and update your plan. Because theory is just theory until it's tested. The best preppers aren't the ones with the biggest stockpile. They're the ones who've practiced under pressure. So if you really want to be ready for what's coming, don't just prep. Prove your plan under stress. Start today. Seal the cracks in your plan. Run the drills. Lock in your preps. And if this gave you even one solid idea, hit subscribe, tap that notification bell, and stay ahead of the chaos. And before you go, drop a comment. What's the one thing you still haven't secured for a long-term blackout?